Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Nobody Ask a Podcast. Episode 5 we've just established. Thank you guys. I see new subscribers. Thank you guys. Appreciate yous all.
Love you.
I've been super slack on the clips and posting and stuff like that. But we are back to it, which is actually why I haven't said our official schedule that we're supposed to be following, just because life be lifing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's a challenge where I say just try and stick to the schedule for yous as well. Anyways, before we get cracking into this episode, as always, please read and or listen to the disclaimer.
Some topics may be triggering, and we are not trained professionals, and simply are sharing our personal experiences. If you go through or have gone through mental health problems, please seek professional help. However, we are more than willing to pray with you and or for you. God bless and enjoy.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Bro, we are back to it. Another episode.
Out here.
Out here, just living life.
Mm-hmm.
Unmotivated and undisciplined and and super inconsistent, but yeah, that's theme of my life.
Gee, if you don't know, me and the bro, we work full time as well,
I'll put this here.
and we're also dads. So
Yeah.
there's about maybe there's 3 jobs in itself, you know, as well as content and all that stuff, which is another job. We haven't done any,
Yeah,
but still a job. So,
yeah, and 100%. And but this is something that we love and that we want to do, and we really believe in this. So
Yep.
we'll try keep it going for you guys. On today's episode, this is something that's been on my heart for ages, but we're going to be talking about fear. I guess a little I don't know if I even need to say it at this point, but I'm probably going to get real biblical, real quick, but just only because that's my main point of reference when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But yeah, fear. The first thought that I had about fear was how manipulative it can manipulative. How manipulative it can be,
Yeah.
how controlling it can be, how it's just a liar, and yeah, a lot of power can come from fear if you allow it to, you know.
Yep.
And
Definitely.
and yeah, bro, and so I've had stages of fear throughout my life.
Yeah.
I've always been a wild boy. I've always been a curious boy, and I've consequences have always been a fear of mine. But I constantly push those limits. Yeah, I'm that boy that bro, I remember I can't remember what I done, but my mum was smacking me, man, spanking me. Dad was spanking me, whacking me, hidings, and trying to get me to say sorry, and I just wouldn't say sorry, bro. I just refused to say sorry, and I was taking it. But yeah, but that triggered something in my brain. I mean, this was years ago. I was like a little toddler, but I remember oh, what else can I, if I can handle this, what else can I push to, you know?
Was it more I can get away with this, or is it more this happened to me and I don't really?
I think it's
I'm still here.
I don't care if I get caught. What's that gonna feel like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious about the other side of it too. But then also I obviously, as you know, I grew up with really strong Christian beliefs and morals, and so I always had this voice in my head, and I used to test a lot. I used to test myself. I used to test my parents, my family. I used to test God to see what He would protect me from, and some of the crowds that I used to hang around and the things that I used to involve myself in, I used to think. I remember in some of these moments too, thinking why isn't nothing happening to me? My mate just got dropped, but I kind of caused it.
It's that bulletproof type of thing, you know. You see it all around you,
Yeah.
but you're that I don't know how to describe it. You're that one placid part,
Yeah.
and there's all these waves around you, bro. That's dangerous,
Dangerous as, bro. I felt invincible.
Yeah.
And I really felt invincible with my dad's whānau being where they're from, and I guess just the reputation that they had. It kind of put the
Yeah.
the armor on.
What's
and
that
then,
gonna do?
Yeah, because that was a card that I could pull when I needed it, and it held weight back then.
Yeah. 100%.
Which was like isn't good for like a young boy at the time like me.
Yeah.
Who's already testing boundaries and stuff, and then also like testing God and thinking like, oh yeah, he's gonna protect me. It was a no-brainer for me, that he was gonna protect me. So I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because I know I'll be alright afterwards, anyways.
I see that heaps, bro.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the bros like who do all their stuff on the weekends. Not even the weekends, bro. Throughout the week, and then church on Sunday, and they're like, he's not gonna do anything anyways, eh? But
yeah.
it's always around the corner, I reckon, eh, bro?
100%, bro. But like, the running theme of my life was that I've always learned things like the hardest way possible.
Yeah,
just because like, I need to, otherwise it's not gonna get through to me. Like I'm just,
even on hard mode, eh, bro?
Yeah. Even if I know it. And I'm wise enough to know, I guess, the right thing to do. So sometimes my curiosity or my stubbornness will just allow me just to, I'm just gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, I get that, bro.
Yeah, and so fear was like this thing in my life that I played games with. Yeah, to I guess put it in simpler terms.
What was like your first memory of like fear, bro, when you felt it for the first time? Can you pinpoint that, or has it always been present, G?
The first memory of fear was an evil attack spiritually. Yeah, and I've had those quite a lot throughout my life, and I've seen a lot of those things, but I just remember I knew the difference between fear and here in reality or in earth, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can give so many examples of fear on earth, but this fear, and I knew what that fear felt like already, but this fear was like shook me to my core, bro. Like it was like there's no running away. Yeah, and so for me, like my relationship with God really was tested because I was just like, okay, I really can't deny that if God's real or not, because this thing is trying to get me, and I feel this thing trying to get me, and you're the only one that can save me.
Yeah.
So help me, bro. Like. Yeah,
I know I thought all this shit,
but
that's the old me.
Save me, bro. I'm sorry.
That's the old me. That's the old me.
Yeah, that was my first really vivid memory of fear, and this was actually it was around intermediate. So what happened was, we were at a social. I don't know if I shared this story before, but I was at the school. What's it called? Social dance, whatever. And my mum came to pick me up. And then when it was nighttime or like dark when she came to pick me up. And then when she came to pick me up, we were walking to the car. And so where the car park of the school was, there was like a field in front of the car park. And then up this like little pathway was a tennis court at the top.
Yeah.
And so when we were leaving, something was just drawing my attention to the top of that court for some reason. And I started crying. And straight away, I just started crying. And then my mum was like wondering what's going on. And I was like, there's something evil over there on top of the tennis court, by the tennis court. And we didn't know what it was, but I needed to like, I don't know what I needed to do, but I knew how powerful and how evil this thing that I'm feeling is, and that was scary as. But then I think, for whatever reason, I needed to show that God's bigger than whatever's happening here. So when I walked up there was these like teens, I guess, that they had to be high school age, older kids anyways, and they were doing the Ouija board, like a ritual thing on top of the
stuff there, bro.
Yeah, on top of the tennis
Doesn't
court.
mix with moldy, AJ.
Yeah, and so yeah, and that presence was so deep and so just like, woof, I felt it, you know, in my spirit straight away. And so we prayed over that, and then we left, and I felt better and stuff like that. But it just made me think like yeah, like I can get into a fight with someone, and that can be scary in itself. But then there's also these people that are doing stuff like that, that's attacking something much greater than you, that you know I don't have control over. Now you're getting at my soul, you know, which was like it was so scary for me. And then I combated that with like, man, I just prayed, and then that went away. So how big is God for that just to go away just like that, you know? Yeah, so that really put things in perspective. But then that also lit the fire in me to like test him, to be like, oh, what else
see
can
what
I
else?
like,
Yeah. If I was that close and nothing happened,
yeah.
I feel that, G. Like you're
Yeah.
teetering over the edge, G, pretty much.
Yeah. I had boundaries like from that point on. I had boundaries from that point on.
Bro, it
I was
always takes something like that for you to be like, oh crap.
just dumb, bro. I was just an idiot. So like, I would get with girls. I was getting with girls then at intermediate, and I wasn't really doing drugs like that. I was experimenting with alcohol then, and stuff like that. Just doing things that I'm not really supposed to be doing. But then there was always like a limit to where when I felt that feeling similar to when I felt it when I was leaving the social, I was like, oh. And normally I could feel that before anything happens. Like I just could sense it, you know.
Like intuition,
Yeah, just God's discernment, and and then that would be enough to deter me away from it. But if I didn't, then I'm straight in there, bro. I'm just like, yeah. What about you, bro?
It's crazy. I don't know, bro. I feel like for me, when I was younger, I'm trying to think of what I was scared of, and there's nothing really that hurts me like that hard, to be honest. The standard things when you're a kid, you're scared of like bugs or something like that, like the scary, creepy coralies, and then as you get older, it kind of shifts. But my biggest fear, I think, when I was a kid, it was probably like the same thing that you said, like those boundaries of, okay, I've done this, but instead of being like, I can get away with this, I'm like, no, I'll never get away with that. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
So like consequences were my biggest thing when I was younger, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It was crazy for me because I had like 5 brothers, so I'd see all that stuff that they couldn't get away with happening right in front of me in real time, you know?
Yeah.
So I knew my limits quite quickly
Yeah.
because I had all those examples of brothers.
That's true. I was the oldest, bro. So I'm just
So
like,
you're the example.
I'm the crash dummy, bro. For like so much stuff, eh?
I was probably like the 4th. Yeah, I was the 4th.
Mm.
So I had all these brothers that were doing all these things. Mum and dad being like, no. Yeah. So it wasn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my one. It was more psychological.
Which is a whole nother thing in itself, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Far out. And then I remember, like, speaking of psychological, a lot of my fear early on was like psychological too. Like insecurities, I think, cause a lot of fear.
Yeah, bro. I think that's a big one, eh? Especially in your teen years, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear of what people think.
Yeah.
When you're insecure in yourself, but I think that's how it changes as you get older, because you're more like secure in yourself. You learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
But that's a crazy time, man.
It was so confusing, bro, because like I was getting girls, but I looked at myself as this ugly fella, you know, like.
Yo, same.
It was really strange, yeah. And I think a lot of my validation came from that.
That
I think
external
type
of thing. Yeah.
But I was definitely fearful, bro. Like fearful of what others thought of me, fearful of, I guess, what I thought of myself. To be honest, a lot of pre-assumptions on my part, like, because I really had no idea what anyone was thinking, you know what I mean? This is just things that I'm making up in my head, which is like fear, you know, fear-induced, which is crazy.
Is that why you got the snake bites? Did you have the snake bites? I did
have the snake bites. I had the nose piercing.
Do you think that was more, bro? Because I used to dye my hair like every week. We talked about it before. That's that same kind of fear of being like normal.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That's another like yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you straight up. A lot of guys, especially me, everything's for girls.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's why I dyed my hair too.
Everything's for girls. Like everything.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna do something and action something or change something about myself if I think it's gonna get me more girls. This is 100% what I was thinking, bro.
That's the young man thinking, brother.
Yeah, straight up. Everything was just for girls. I'm playing the sport because for girls. I want girls,
Yeah.
like, you know, dyeing my hair or doing this or dancing or whatever for girls. But like going back to that validation, like it was quite twisted because I always felt like and knew that God loved me, but like I think we've said this before, but I just didn't love myself back then. So, which is like I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie that, you know, a lot of people tell themselves that you're not, you know, worth it and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it goes back to that fear again. Like, if I didn't get that validation from other people, then I get scared, even more scared, you know. Yeah, about what people think of me and what I think of myself.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, and then so I remember my first panic attack or my first anxiety attack. I was with my ex-partner at the time, and she was from Te Puke, down the line, near Papamoa and Tauranga and all that. And so
Shout out Tapuika.
hard,
That's more family.
beautiful beaches too.
Yeah.
So we were down there. Oh no, she was down there, and I caught the bus there, and we were at the beach. And I remember I just got there too, like just got off the bus and just got to the beach. And I had this wave start from like my legs and just shoot all the way up to my head. It was super fast. And it felt like something just pulled all the air out of me, and I felt like I was going to pass out.
Yeah.
And that freaked me out. Like, that completely freaked me out. Straight away, I called my mum, and I said, I need to come home now. She said, what? You just got there. I need to get me on a bus. I need to come home now. Got on a bus, drove like 4 or 5 hours because of the stops and that, back
It
to
took
Auckland.
ages back then,
It really
bro.
did. Bro, it actually did.
That's crazy.
Because it was like touristy back then too, so people wanted to stop and like sightsee and all that. And then went back home, went back to my room, closed the door, and just isolated myself. I remember the feeling that I had as soon as I got back home, of just relief, like I was safe. And I didn't know what to attach what just happened. It just came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know why that happened. And I didn't know what to attach it to, but I just remember whatever that thing was shook me so hard. And now I've learned that when I isolate myself, I feel better. It feels better.
Yeah.
And so it just started, bro, it escalated so bad, man. I was just getting panic attacks everywhere. I think the fear of the panic attack happening was making the panic attack happen.
Worse say.
Yeah, made it so much worse, bro. Yeah, and that fear made me isolate myself just so I could feel a lot better. It was really dangerous, bro.
That's
yeah.
heavy, bro.
Heavy as, man. Yeah.
Bro, I was old when I had my first one.
Mm.
I was like 25, maybe 24 it would have been.
Yeah.
And bro, I was at work, and then I went to go walk out of work, jumped on my car, and then straight away, it felt like I was having a heart attack, bro.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, because I was like, nah, I need to go to the hospital. So I drove. I used to work out by the airport at that time, bro. I was 25. I didn't even know what brought it on, bro. But I finished work, and I jumped on my car. And as soon as I started my engine, I felt it, bro. I felt like, my heart was like beating out of my chest. I couldn't breathe. I could feel it in my stomach too. My stomach was just turning, bro. And I drove to pick up my twin, who worked at the warehouse by the airport. Bro, I just sat in the car park and I just called him from there because I couldn't even walk. Like, I couldn't move. I could drive there. But that was it. I was like, gee, can you take me to the hospital because I think I'm dying? And then he was like, oh, yeah. are you sure? And I was like, yeah, come out. And then he sat there with me for like 5 minutes, and then everything in this whole area, bro, it just started like pulsing. But I could tell that it wasn't a heart attack because like it all felt messed up in here, but I didn't feel like I could still feel my heart was beating all good and stuff like that, bro. I didn't know the symptoms of a heart attack at that time. So I was like, I'm having a heart attack, I think. So he like drove me to the hospital. Bro, I had to wait ages and I was still like going through the attack. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, bro. And then they took me into like one of their rooms there. And the doctor spoke to me for like 5 minutes, asked me what was going on. And then after that, a psychiatrist came in and spoke to me about what I was feeling, because I was still feeling like that, bro. And then, yeah, just spoke to me about it. And they were like, oh, can you feel anything, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, nah, it just feels like this whole thing is... And they were like, I think it's an anxiety attack. And which was crazy to me, because I'd never experienced anything like that before, bro, you know? It was probably the same with you, G.
Yeah.
But yo, that was fuck. That was effed up. That feeling was effed up, and I didn't really,
It's
I
crazy
wasn't
how
prepared
real it
for
feels
it.
too, eh?
Bro, honestly felt like I was gonna die, bro.
Yeah, I
and I
believe
was
it,
like, Jordan, you have to take me. And he was like, oh, yeah, sweet. And then he sat with me the whole time, bro. And then I was like, still feeling bad. And then spoke to the psychiatrist. And she was like, this is what you have to do. Don't go back to work for this long. And then in a week, go to the doctor and talk to them. And then I got all these pamphlets. I'm like, what the fuck is this going to do for me?
yeah.
But yeah. I don't know what actually calmed me down, bro. I can't remember. I just felt like that for ages, and then it was gone.
I got that driving a lot too. I used to get it driving. I used to get it when I didn't sleep properly, or like things would stress me out.
I think that was like part of it too for me, because bro, I was working from like probably 6 a.m. to like 8 to 9 p.m, bro. And then I just have like 4 Vs a day, which adds to it. And then when you get home, you can't sleep. Yeah, bro. It was crazy.
It really is. I remember I had a panic attack so bad. I was really convinced that like I was gonna die. Like I said my goodbyes just to hit everyone in my life, you know, in my mind, while I was slowly dying.
Yeah.
I was lying next to Jay too, which was like pretty freaky too. It's just as buzzy. Going back to like when you give that fear power, like
bro.
You know, how much it can do. It really does, man. And like, I think like you just try and make sense of everything. Yeah. You try find...
Or you pick everything apart, G.
And seek answers and be like, oh yeah, this happened because of this and that happened because of... Oh, but I didn't... Oh yeah, but then that... And then you Google and then it's like, oh, no, don't Google because it's like bad. And then you... Exactly, bro. And then you start playing doctor yourself and then... Man, I used to get so paranoid about so many things, and...
I used to self-medicate, bro, when I feel it coming on, bro. That was like the height of me like smoking weed and stuff like that, bro, was when I had my first anxiety attack.
I know weed like made it worse for me.
Yeah, because it makes you like anxious.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I was smoking way too much. Like I was smoking way too much at one time. Like it was just not good. So it was bound to happen anyways. Yeah. But. So yeah, and so I shared before, but like my mum got me this app that was like $500, and it was this guy that says like anxiety can't kill you, can't hurt you, can't do anything physical to you. That gave me a lot of peace because I had an answer now to this thing that's happening. Yeah. So I thought, okay, but then when it went away for ages. The thing that brought it back was lockdown. Was when lockdown happened.
Yeah, bro, that was crazy for me.
Bro, just the fear that the media was pushing out to everyone.
And that isolation as well, bro.
So the isolation, going back to like what made me feel better, with everything going on in the world, we got to stay home. Yeah. That made me feel so much better. But I was an essential worker too. So I was doing youth work back then at a home for boys. And so we had to work. We had to do shifts still. And that, like, that set me, bro. That set me, like, in just that anxiety loop, because already anxious about what the media is saying about, you know, we're all going to die and stuff like that, and people are, like, losing their lives, whatever. Very systematic the way they done it, which I really didn't like, you know.
Yeah.
It was very, like, it was just so much information that just wasn't clear, you know.
Yeah.
And there was so many counter information from others that I was just like, well, who do you listen to, you know? And so I that already made me want to isolate myself from everything. But now, like, this thing, isolation, that makes me feel better, I'm having to go to work now, so I can't isolate. So it just made it 10 times worse, bro. It was so bad. Yeah, and we just had our girl too. We just had Aurora. So I got a new baby, and lockdown, and the social media.
Working.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. That was honestly the worst time. And to be honest, I mean, how many years now are we from that? Like 22, or 23? Like 3-4 years away from a lockdown now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just shaking all of that off now.
Yeah, like things are just starting to go back to normal. And now all the gases.
Yeah, another thing. But they taught me a valuable lesson about, I mean, I don't really want to get into like politics and all that, but I think that what I learned from the lockdowns and that was just like, just stay in my path, just stay in my course, and don't let this fear, don't be ignorant either. Like, don't just go put yourself into harm's way, obviously.
Yeah.
But also don't, like, speaking to myself, don't lock yourself away and live out of fear that things are going to happen, you know. Still enjoy life. There's so much to enjoy still, and I think that's where I'm at a point now where I'm getting to now.
Yeah.
Is just to, like, get myself back. But I remember asking Jade, like, maybe a few weeks ago, I told her, I was like, I feel like my joy's been stolen away from me, like, and I feel like I've always known that it's a choice, you know, but it felt like it was harder to make that choice to choose joy.
Yeah.
And I just felt like anger was just, like, taking over me, you know, and just reacting to everything, like, in an angry kind of way.
Yeah, bro.
And I do attribute a lot of that to lockdowns too, because a lot of that stemmed from then, bro. And I think, yeah, just having to let go and of all that stuff, and just allow myself to feel joyful again and experience happiness and not feel like the world's, like, against you kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Or like, yeah, I feel that, bro.
Yeah. Because I used to walk around up until, like, a few months ago just ready to go, like, I'm just ready to scrap anyone, you know. In my mind, I'm creating all these, like, little scenarios of, like, oh yeah, if he does this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. And
I
then
know.
I was thinking, bro, like, bro,
I know,
I know. I was like, what a way to live, bro. Like, this is really the lie that the devil would tell you, is to, like, live in fear. So, going back into the Bible, like, fear, it says in the Bible to fear God, and I used to always wonder what that means, and I've definitely, when you think of God, obviously it's like, it's really hard to fathom, but if you believe that he made all of these things and he made you and all that, like, that should be enough to be like, oh, okay, like, alright, my bad, like, I don't think it's a fear as in, like, he's gonna, like, spite you and strike you down and like, you said the F word, yeah, you lost your hand now, kind of thing. I don't think it's like that, but I think it's just recognizing, like, who he is in my life, and just realizing that I only have a life because of him. And so when I, you know, live a certain way that goes against him, I think that fear kicks in, where I'm just like, I need to recognize why I'm here. And a lot of that was where my joy started to come back. I was just like, man, how beautiful is this place, you know, this house that we're in, and that I have a full-time income coming in, that I have kids, that we got a new little puppy now, and I got a wife, you know, who's still around for some reason, and I got so many things to be grateful for. And I know it's like cliche, and I also know, like, during those hard moments, it's very hard. It's easy for me to say this in hindsight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm very aware of that, just because I still go through that now. But still make that choice, man. Guys, make that choice. Don't live your life in fear to where you're like, there's so much out here to enjoy. It doesn't matter what you have and what you don't have. Don't play the comparison game. Just be thankful for what you have
100%.
and make the most of it now. If a new baby is born and he grows up with no toys, but he finds, you chuck a newborn baby or like a little chuck my 3-year-old outside in the backyard and watch how happy he is. Like just
Jeez,
like
happy
playing
like
with
that
stuff
inside.
like, making up stuff, and then my 6-year-old girl will come out and like, let's play, I don't know, like something, and then they play like castles or something, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I think I say that to say, like, don't attribute this life and joy to certain things of this world, I guess, because they're only temporary and nothing lasts. And for me, God was really my savior and all this, but still get very, very scared. I mean, bro, speak about fear of a dad, bro. Having kids, man.
That's crazy, eh? Bro, that's like, bro, I was just going to talk about that. That's the only fear I have now, G.
Yeah.
That's the only fear that I have in this life is, one, that I'm not able to provide for them. 2, that I'm not able to be there for them if I was taken away by some occurrence and wasn't there for them. And 3, that they hate me, G. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one, G. So I have to make sure that when I'm telling them, growling them, even when I'm asking them to do something, bro, I have to make sure it comes from a place of love. Because that's all I want them to feel, is loved. But the biggest one, is not being around for them, G. That's the biggest... Ooh, sorry. That's the biggest one that gets me, bro. And we know that we're not going to be here forever, G.
Yeah.
That's like the... Sorry.
It's so intense.
I'll cry, G, if I keep talking about it.
I mean, 100% though, bro. And it's like...
heavy.
Things get so real when you have kids.
Yeah.
They get
hectic
real.
too, bro. Because sometimes we get caught up in that as well.
Yeah.
You know? We get caught up in providing for them so much that we don't get...
Yeah.
You know? We don't put into that time that we do have with them, G.
100%, bro. And I think fear as a father, I think it's healthy in a lot of ways if you channel it right. Like, I feel like fear as a father can guide you in the right way.
Yeah, bro.
Like, especially with my boy now, like, fear can also cause reactions that like probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
I feel that, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
I was like that with my boy, bro. My boy's the crash dummy of my children.
Yeah.
But like even in saying that, I'm like very proud of who he is right now.
Yeah.
Also learned heaps together, bro, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That happens when you have kids young, bro. You kind of grow up together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
100%. Yeah, I speak in my boy too. I remember I reacted away and he done something stupid. You know, it's just boys, man. They just want to explore and jump and all that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought he was gonna crack his head or something, and then I reacted in like just a really like aggressive way. But I just remember the look in his eyes. Was just like he was scared, bro, like of me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, like.
Yeah,
This
bro.
is not
That's
what
crazy.
This is not what I want. Like,
Yeah.
I wish he could understand what I was saying, you know, or my intentions, and I just didn't know how to react properly at the time.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that I'm working on, is how fear can just I guess dictate your reactions to certain things, especially when it comes to your kids, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and because that's the last thing I want, man, is for my kids to fear me as a dad.
Yeah.
And I think I think no one teaches you these things, by the way, as a dad.
That's
Speaking of, it's
that's
kids yelling.
it's the girls. That's Rora. In the hallway.
But they don't teach you, like,
There's no
guidebook to like
bro,
how.
there's no guidebook, no instructions. You're literally, once you have kids, they're like, okay, go.
Yeah,
That's it.
Actually.
And you look at your parents and you're like, okay, I'll take this part from you, that part from you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I try to do anyways, bro. I
Yeah.
take, like, in my way of being a father, I try to take all the best traits from all the men that have played a role as a father in my life at one point or another.
Yeah.
Still slip up, G.
Yeah.
And bro, I'm petrified of slipping up now that my boy's a teenager.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
if you get mad at your dad when you're a teen and you say, I hate him
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
it'll last forever, bro.
100%, man. And yeah, because like you just think like, especially when you have a boy. I had a girl first, so that was my introduction to fatherhood.
Yeah.
It was very soft, very gentle. This is my
Yeah,
little baby.
yeah.
And then a boy, he's like, rah! I'm like, no, you gotta be a man. Yeah, you wanna grow up to be a man?
You're like,
I'm a man.
I'm the man.
I'm the man.
You're not the man.
You're
I'm
not
the man.
I'm the man. It's so backwards, bro. And like, I mean, like fear, like boys are definitely different to girls, you know? Well, I mean, we both got both.
Yeah.
And they're definitely different, definitely receptive to different things. You have to raise them differently because they're different, you know, creatures at the end of the day. Yeah, and so when I had my girl, like, I learned a certain way of how to be a father. And then when I had my boy, I was just like, oh, this is way different. Like, I have to, whatever I do, he's really gonna like copy me.
Yeah.
And so I have to be really mindful of like the way I act around him.
Yeah.
Because I want him. I just want the best for my boy, you know.
Yeah.
Tough love came so much easier for me with my son than it did with my girl.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
100%, bro. That's I'm soft dad, bro.
Yeah.
To both of
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
But they know if they've done something that's really bad, they know straight away. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
the switch is flipped.
Yeah.
But even then,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
yell at you. I just talk to them about it. And they just get annoyed because I talk their ears off. I'm a yapper, G, with my kids.
I don't.
Like,
I think it's a good thing when I yap.
Yeah.
I think when I don't yap, it's like, oh.
That's when they know that something's up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
Mm.
The fear when you're a human. And then if you're a man.
Yeah.
And if you're a father.
Yeah.
No way.
No way.
It's just insane.
It actually is though.
Bro, imagine what our partners feel like that. Like, with that feel with our babies, bro.
I remember Jade said something to me before we had kids. I was still a hothead back then. We were kind of early in our dating years. And she said, I'm not afraid of you. She said that to me, and I was just like, oh. Like,
I think I love you. Don't lie, I was like, okay, I love her.
It was. And because, like,
but you try to push that, G.
I did.
Yeah.
I would never harm her in any way.
Yeah.
But, like, she definitely got the brunt of my fearful reactions. Especially when I'm going from, like, living a certain way to now having to change my life for the better. But I don't want to give up these old things that, you know, that I've just done for so many years.
Yeah.
It was hard for me, you know. It was hard to like settle down with like one girl, or like to live within the law, or like, you know what I mean. There were so many massive changes I had to make in my life that I was just like, man. And so she took a lot of that, like she had to take a lot of that on the chin, of just like these fearful reactions, you know, of just me being insecure still and not loving myself, but finding it weird that she loves me, like, why, like, you know, it really confused me. Yeah, and then now, you know, we still definitely go through it. There's definitely stages. It's still happening, but just in a different context, you know. Like now I'm a dad and we're parents and stuff like that, and then that changes the dynamics of husband and wife, and we go through our ups and downs a lot. I think it's because the kids are so testing. Changed her body, having 2 kids, you know, getting cut out of her, and there's a lot. There's a lot of fear. Yeah, a lot of fear.
100%, bro. That's crazy, yeah.
It really is crazy, man. Yeah, but grateful, man. Super grateful. And I think now is probably a good time that we can share some tools that have helped us along the way. One thing that you told me actually was journaling. We've said this before, but journaling, still journaling every day.
100%.
Actually, I'm journaling Monday to Friday. In the morning, I'll journal, and then I set my intentions for the day. And I try not to be like general. I try really like get into it.
Yeah.
And I think for me, what journaling has done was one, yeah, it's an outlet. I get to just let it all out. But then I can also make a plan for if things fail, or have backup plans,
Yeah.
or know that my day has a purpose now. And it's up to me to fulfill that purpose. Like this morning was film today, shoot content today.
Yeah.
And so that was a part of my plan. Workout was a part of my plan. Be present with my kids was my intention. So my intentions lately have been to be present in all of my goals that I'm wanting to do,
Yeah.
and to plan and execute. To make a plan and execute it has been my intentions for most of the days, and it's helped me out heaps, bro. Like, it really has. It becomes habitual.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm like super consistent. I mean, I am fairly consistent now, to be honest. I think because it's still quite new to me and it's something exciting that I look forward to doing.
Yeah.
And the novelty hasn't worn off yet for me. But I recognize it as a tool for something for me to do.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I do mine at the end of the day, yeah.
Mm.
And when I'm doing it, I'll write down like a basic overview of what I did that day.
Yeah.
And then I'll identify 5 feelings that I felt throughout that day.
Mm.
Then I have like an emotion wheel, and
Yeah.
that's what I use to differentiate between those feelings.
Mm.
I'll give the link to the bro to check it up in the
Yeah.
in the description. But yeah, that helps me as just a way to decompress at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then once I've done those, so I'll write the feelings down. I'll write why I felt that way, and then I'll write a solution to that I can implement the next day. And then my goal day by day is to just be that tiny little bit better than I was the day before, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just go through and assess. Mostly
Yeah.
5 feelings, the root cause of those feelings, and how I can solve those feelings,
Yeah.
and then a plan for the next day. Well, my plans are all rough, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's more like a guideline, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a full-on, like, rigid
Which is
plan.
still better than nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least it
Definitely.
stays in your mind, you know, for that day.
Yep.
Another
100%.
thing that helps me out heaps is the gym, working out.
Yeah.
I remember I was in this this meeting, and the one of the ladies was like, "Oh, what do you guys do to de-stress or to take away stress?" And I was like, "I like to cause stress, like in the gym. Like, I like working out hard." For some reason, in basketball, served the same way, but for me, the gym, I feel like I just get to lock in on this one thing.
Yeah.
And just let everything go, and just really zone in on this thing
Yeah.
that sucks but requires my full attention.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I always vividly remember, like, I know a lot of people say this, but man, it really is true. Sometimes you're unmotivated and all that, and you just don't want to go, and then I start making up excuses like, oh, I think I'm getting sick, or I think I'm blah 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 blah. And then I go, I'm just like, oh man, that felt so good.
Yeah, bro. And
It
the pain
felt-
feels
yeah.
good afterwards too, eh? You know.
Felt so
So
good.
we're plus 30.
Yeah.
So the pain that used to be a day takes a
Yeah.
little bit longer these days.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not mad at it.
Mm.
Are you?
I'm just grateful to be moving still, bro.
Yeah. Mobility.
Hard out, man.
Yeah, bro.
Grateful to still be going. And also it adds to the purpose of my life. You know, I need to take care of the vessel that, you know, God's blessed me with. And so gym is definitely another
Quote
one.
to that jam.
My new one now is riding my bike. Like, I was telling Jade, like, I got majority of my family ride, and I have an uncle in California who makes bikes, who makes like low riders that they call Viklas, which is like a cholo kind of Harley.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with Harleys. A lot of my family are obsessed with Harleys. And so riding a bike, having my first bike now, I felt like I was made to do this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I've just tapped into like something.
Tapped
That's-
into your fucker papa,
Yeah,
G.
bro. I just like
Hey.
released it out, bro, and it was just like, oh, wow. But like also, it's taught me so much already in the short time that I've been riding. Like one, to like be aware of your surroundings at all times. Don't be confident on that bike to the point where you start to test boundaries and that, because that could end your life real quick.
Yeah.
2, you only have control of what I have control of. You can't take control over what other people do or
Yeah.
their reactions. And in this case, it's them driving and all that, you know. I'm responsible for me and me alone.
Yeah.
And so I have to do everything I can to make sure that I'm safe and I'm protected. Which I think applies to life too. But then also the freedom, bro. I get to this point on the motorway where I'm just like, I put one hand down. I'm at like 110 or something. There's no cars in front of me. There's a few cars behind me. And I'm just open road cruising, bro. Like evening time, I'm just like, oh, this is, I feel the wind. I don't know, something about it, bro. But man, I love it. It makes me so happy. Yeah. And also it's a hobby. It's something for me to do. I get to connect with my in-laws about it too, just because they're into their mechanical stuff. So
You forgot, stay away from utes, G.
yeah. Yeah.
If you drive a ute, stuff you. No,
gas
I'm
goes
kidding.
now, eh?
I'm
Far
kidding.
out. I think my bike's like still like $35 to fill up, $35.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so I don't want to say to conclude all this like just don't be scared, but like kind of
Don't be scared.
yeah, like yeah.
Like, bro, easy. Nah, it's not easy, but I think another one, or like how I get rid of fear. I talk to you about this, bro. I create.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was that a gym that I said to you too?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now that we're like 30, that's the biggest thing that I say, not just to you, but to my brothers who are the same age as me as well. You know, when you start to get stressed, or you start to get angry, or you start to feel scared, I think the biggest thing to remember is that there are two paths that you can take. One can be to be destructive, and the other one can be to be creative. And you and I were creative men.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one to
Yeah.
chuck in. But yeah, don't be scared, G.
Don't
Talk
be
to
scary,
someone.
man.
Don't be scary. Talk to someone.
Yeah, definitely talk to someone.
What else?
100%.
What else can you do? Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, journal if you want to journal,
Buy a
sleep
motorbike.
properly. Yeah, get a bike, ride safe. But I think take care of your stress management. Manage your stress well.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, just do that. Sleep well, eat well. Those 3 things are gonna set you up for a pretty good time in life.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And find the things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, and
So
seek those things, man. Don't give fear the power that it deserves, man. Obviously, if your life is on the line, get answers. You know, get clarity if you need to get clarity.
Yeah.
But don't feel like, especially when it comes to anxiety, don't let that thing rule your life, man. It's real, but it's not. Like, it can't do anything to you. It's got no physical power over you at all. It's all in your head, pretty much, which sounds crazy to say it out loud, but it's true. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Love you. Can
And
someone get us a mic stand, G? Just one for me.
Yeah.
Because this guy's got one, but I feel like a stand-up comedian, but all my jokes aren't funny. You know
Maybe
what
I
I'm
can get
saying?
one like this and just put it on that side of the table and then run it that way.
Or like behind here or something. Anyways,
true,
bye. Love you guys.
love you
We'll finish
guys.
this off.
Yeah, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. Pray for you guys. Love yous. Time to eat. See you in the next one.
Gee, these are fucking easy as, bro. Did I get it?